Hey everyone, my name is Sebastian Momjian and I'm starting dental school in about a week from now, so I'm pretty excited. For this video, I'm going to be explaining my journey into dental school. So when I applied, I had a GPA of a 3.36, science GPA of 3.1, I had a DAT of 18 AA, a PAT of 18, and a TS or total science score of 18. And then my volunteering hours were about 100 hours, and then work experience, I had over 1,000 hours of work experience as a dental sterilization technician. So let's get into it. I started at a community college for 4 years, but eventually I graduated from Irvine Valley College and transferred to Cal State Fullerton, where I was a biochem major, but quickly was advised to switch to public health because my GPA was low. And at one point at Irvine Valley College, my GPA was a 2.7, so I knew I had to turn that around quickly. I started taking science classes, public health classes to help boost my GPA. And so by the time I graduated from IVC, I went from a 2.7 to a 3.2. And then once I went to Cal State Fullerton as a public health major, I had a GPA of about 3.9. So I was able to bump up my cumulative GPA from a 3.2 to, by the time I graduated, to nearly a 3.5 GPA. So I graduated from Cal State Fullerton in May of 2024, just a few months ago. Now it is the end of July 2024, and I start school on August 5th. Now let's get into what schools I applied to, when I applied, and what happened, who accepted me. As many of you know, AdSAS opens up the application portal on June 1st, and I wasn't ready by this point. I still had to take my DAT. I had to dedicate myself. I had to sacrifice to physics, to OChem, to DAT, to all the upper division classes. I prioritized everything that was going to help me get into dental school for that year. And so 2023 was my no life grind year. The DAT took a lot out of me. I literally took my DAT on August 21st, 2023, and I started my senior semester August 22nd, 2023. So I had OChem at 8 a.m. the next day. It ended up working out, but a few things happened that led me to applying late. So I ended up applying December 1st of 2023. And as I've mentioned, application portal for AdSAS opens up June 1st of 2023. So already about 5-6 months have passed, and a lot of schools by December 1st have already closed their application portal. So now I'm stuck with a select amount of schools that I can apply to. So I ended up applying to 6 schools on December 1st, and they were UOP, LECOM, Louisville, UCLA, USC, and my top choice, Western U. And so I applied to those schools, and I heard back right away from Western U. They said they wanted to do an interview on January 12th, which is 2 days after my birthday. And a lot of people who know me know I never get sick, but just for that week, I somehow had a stuffy nose. So I showed up to my interview sniffling a little bit and sounding a little congested. So I was like, okay, there's another challenge now. But I was excited about it. I got to campus and I was nervous, but everyone else was nervous too. So I was like, okay, stay composed. I was selected for an interview. That means what I did, my work, was qualified enough to be here today. So that gave me a little bit of confidence, just reminding myself of the work it took to get there and to be proud of myself for making it this far. So I got interviewed by 1 staff and then 1 student. My interview went well, at least I think. So fortunately enough for me, a lot of the questions were public health related. As I've mentioned, I was a public health major. My concentration was nutrition. It doesn't matter, but I wanted to throw that in there. I got very fortunate in that aspect of just being prepared for the interview. And literally about a week later, January 23rd, 2024, I get an email. My acceptance letter had come in, and I was super excited about that. Western U was my top choice, so it ended up working out perfect, and I was super grateful for that experience, and I'm super excited to finally start dental school. It's been 6 years of hard work, changing my major a lot, changing my mind, failing classes, and we'll get into that in a second, but I did fail some classes and I had to retake, but it was a lot of hard work. Side note, I did get rejected from all the other schools I applied to, except for UCLA. UCLA didn't even bother reaching back, so it didn't matter to me because Western U was my top choice anyways. So I was just like, I don't care. Like, I got into the school I wanted to. It's close enough to my house where I could commute. All right, so now let's talk about my recommendations. How can you improve your application? How can you get into dental school? I realized there's one crucial aspect, and that is to write down your goals, write down your why. What are you doing this for? Because a lot of times I find if I'm doing something and there's no why behind it, there's no goal, there's no end goal, then I lose a lot of motivation, I lose a lot of discipline. For me, anything I do, I have to write down my end goal. What am I doing this for? And if it's valuable enough, then I'm like, okay, through the hard days, it's easier to remind myself, I'm gonna push through it because I know this is what the end is going to look like. And it's not gonna be perfect. There's gonna be a lot of times you fail, there's gonna be a lot of times you wanna quit. But find your why, write it down. What are you doing this for? Your pros, your cons. For me, for example, when I transferred to Cal State Fullerton, I was a biochemistry major. And so I was advised to switch to public health. But before I did, I made a list, pros and cons for biochem. pros and cons for public health. I found that if I stuck with biochem, I'd be stuck in school for an extra year. If I did public health, I'd be able to grind and get out of there by 2 years. And so for me, saving that extra year was huge. And now it worked out. I'm able to start dental school a year earlier than anticipated. I was thinking I was going to apply for 2025. Just want to throw this out there. I have a journal, this journal right here, and I write down my goals. And I'll open it up to the first page right here. Okay, I literally wrote, my name is Sebastian Momjian. I am 22 years old and I am in the last semester at Irvine Valley College. For the next 2 years, I hope to build my application to get into dental school by 2024. And then through here, I write a lot of other goals I have, dental school related, financially related, and other goals I aspire to achieve in life. But this is the importance of writing down your goals. I didn't know, I was uncertain on the fact if I was gonna even get into dental school, if I was gonna even be qualified enough to even get an interview. Right? My science GPA was low, my GPA was low, I still hadn't taken the DAT, I wasn't fully confident in my academic skills, right? But I wrote that down, knowing that if I put in the work, I'm capable of doing it. There's so many people, think about all the thousands of dentists and students that were able to get into dental school, medical school, all these graduate school, professional schools, they put in the work. And so you're gonna have to find your why, you're gonna have to put in the work to be able to get to that level. And another reason that I was able to do this was surrounding myself with the right people. I found at Irvine Valley College, I met a group of individuals that were pre-med or science majors, and they changed the way I viewed school. Without them, I would not be here right now making this video. They allowed me to open my mind, and so seeing them being able to accomplish the things they were able to accomplish. Like I had a friend of mine, shout out Mateen, he was scoring like A's on every OChem test, and I was here struggling with OChem. And actually I ended up dropping that class because it was still during COVID, so I was able to get an excused withdrawal, so it didn't affect my transcript. But I wanted to mention that because I was struggling with classes. I failed trigonometry, I had to take it 3 times. I struggled with math, I struggled with science, I struggled with all these classes. So I just want to let you know it's normal. You're probably going to fail. You're probably going to get a couple C's, okay? It's not going to be perfect, but you just got to keep going. And being resilient and persistent is key. I ended up transferring to Cal State Fullerton and completely changed my mindset. I changed my habits. I wanted to clear my mind, so I stopped using social media. I focused primarily on school, and I was able to build momentum. Ultimately, I became a better student by building good habits. And I got to the point where I was addicted to doing well in school. And so for OChem, I fell in love with it. As I mentioned, I dropped OChem at Irvine Valley College. My first semester of OChem at Cal State Fullerton, I got a 96%. I went from being a student that was struggling in a class to being one of the top students in the class where people would come up to and ask for help. And that feeling was so gratifying because I felt like for once I was able to do well in a class, and it was because I put in the work. So I took the second semester of OChem in the fall of 2023, and I got a 99% in that class. Now, I'm not saying that to brag, but I'm saying it's possible. If you're struggling right now, you can be a great student. It just takes a lot of work and dedication and focus. And so that's what I had to do. I had to change my habits and I had to become organized. Being organized is key. I use this board right here to write down everything I have to get done in the week. So some other things that helped me on my application, I was the vice president of my pre-dental club at Cal State Fullerton. This club allowed me to do some volunteering at an elementary school, which was pretty cool.
What is a dentist's favorite dance?
And I was also able to do tours. So I did 2 tours to Western U, and those 2 tours on Western U allowed me to decide like this is my top school. So being able to mention that I've been to Western U twice with my pre-dental club was valuable, and that shows that I cared, and that showed that was a school that I was really interested in. So that was another factor. Another huge factor that helped me become a better student was building rapport with your teachers, with your professors. I was a student earlier in my college academic career. I did not care about going to office hours. I was simply a student who said, okay, I'll do my homework. I'll study a little bit for exams. I put in the minimal effort just to pass classes with B's, C's. But once I transferred to Cal State Fullerton, I decided that I'm gonna be the student who goes to office hours. And so I started building that habit of going. If it wasn't office hours, find a program your school provides. At my school, there was something called SI, or supplemental instruction, where students are able to go and get tutored for free. So that was a free resource I was able to use, which helped me in OChem and it helped me in physics a lot. But building rapport with teachers is important, and it helped me get letters of recommendation for my application for scholarships, and ultimately it helps get your grade up. For example, my organic chemistry lab, I broke glass twice and I started a fire, and I was still able to pass with an A- because I was close to my professor and I would go to his office hours, I would say probably the most out of any other student, and he probably got annoyed with me, but it was worth it. And I was able to build rapport with him, and then also build rapport with those around you, because you are in a system where people are pre-med, people are pre-dental, pre-optometry, pre-nursing, pre-whatever. They're on a similar path as you, and they want to get into schools as well. And so try to find those people who are really motivated, that will make you better. And I was able to find students like that who made me better. And ultimately, I'm grateful for meeting them on my path or my journey to dental school. All in all, I just want to say, believe in yourself. It's going to get hard. There's going to be times you want to quit. You may cry. You may change your major multiple times. You may fail classes. But just know, if you write down your goal on a piece of paper or in your journal and see it, look at it multiple times a day and visualize your goal, there's a good chance that it will come to fruition. And you got to put in the work. It's not going to be easy at all. Like I said, my 2023 year, I had no life. It was just school, gym, work. It was a tough year, I won't lie. And so I just want to let you know, if you're struggling right now, you're at a 2.5, 2.7 GPA, and you're feeling like there's no hope for you, I'm here to let you know I was able to do it. If I was able to do it, you'll be able to do it, okay? So I believe in you. I'm thinking about making some content to document my journey through dental school. So I'm pretty excited for that, just to see how it goes. I've heard a lot of things about dental school, but I guess I won't really know until I go through it and experience it for myself. And hopefully I can be of inspiration to any pre-dental students out there, or people that are thinking about changing to pre-dental. And so with that, thank you so much for watching this video. And remember, smile. It's why we have teeth. Thanks for watching. Yeah. I am 21, turning 22, and hopefully I will be done with dental school by the time I'm 28, done with university by the time I'm 24. I'm just being optimistic, and I know it's going to take a lot of hard work, and I'm ready for it.